Hi, in this video we're going to cover the basic elements on how to putt in golf. I'm going to give some background information regarding the gradient and slope, looking at where to aim before we get into the mechanics of the actual putt. So what we have on the screen now is me analyzing the gradient and the slope of this particular putt. You may wonder why this is important. The reason why it is important is because if you don't analyze the gradient or the slope, then you don't necessarily know where to aim. And even if you were to hit a ball without analyzing these two things, the chances of your ball going to the hole significantly decrease. Okay, so now we have an image where we can analyze the gradient, the slope, and as you can see, this hole here has a pretty good defined example of what I'm talking about. As you can see, this hole slopes slightly downhill toward the hole and also from left to right. So since I've played this hole and also the fact that I've played golf for many years, I know that I would like to at least start my putt on the left side of that hole. The reason being is that once I aim there, as the ball rolls towards the pin or the hole, it'll slowly come back right because of that slope. So these are the little nuances you need to consider on each putt. The last caveat I'll discuss, which we've pretty much touched on, is that slight little downhill toward the hole. Once you get a sense of how much power you put behind your putts, you may want to tone down a little bit since the ball is naturally going down a slope, so it will pick up momentum. So you also need to factor that in and maybe not hit it as hard as you would if it were flat. So that is just another element to consider. And finally, I'll say that you can be on the same green 100 times, but depending on the angle or where you're at, that putt is different. And that's an element that makes golf a little bit more challenging. One tip I always tell people or even tell myself is take your time when you putt. Take your time, analyze it, because one putt is a stroke. You know, if you're on there and you make a couple of putts, that can ruin your scorecard. So take your time, focus on what you're aiming for, make sure you have a nice solid contact with the ball, and you should be good.